Okay, so I want to start off this video by saying I'm not really like an artist or anything, so I'm not really that good at making art and stuff, so I didn't really do that great of a job at making this, but hopefully people watching this can do a better job than I did. But at the same time, I kind of like how mine turned out a little bit, just in like kind of a way where it's, I don't know, like the dragon didn't completely flatten out after I did the whole thing to make it bigger, or like, you know, the stuff that I used, you're supposed to put it in the oven and then it'll shrink. And then it'll also make it so it's a little bit thicker. Like it'll shrink to like a little bit smaller, like maybe an inch or two smaller, and then the whatever thickness of it will get thicker. And so, you know, I did whatever stuff with that, and it didn't flatten out completely, so it ended up kind of wonky looking. I was like, I don't have that much, I only have like 3 sheets of it, so it's just like I didn't want to use up every single sheet, so I was like, whatever, it's still usable, I guess. And yeah, I kind of like how it ended up looking anyways, because it did look a little weird at first, but then I was like, it's fine. But yeah, anyways, I guess I will list off some things that you might need for this whole thing if you want to do this yourself. So you're gonna want a like notebook or drawing book or whatever art thing, journal, whatever. You could get a lined one, but I wanted to get one that was blank in the pages because, I wanted it to be blank pages, no lines. But I also wanted to find one that was either dark brown or black, or I could just like paint it black. And yeah, so I found one that was blank on the pages, and then found one that was actually paintable. Like the whole point of it was that you could like paint the cover and stuff. So I was like, okay, cool, that works. Um, and yeah, I wanted to find one that was like a good enough size, so I got one that was about the same size as the one that I talked about in my other video. And I wanted to be like around the same amount of pages too, so it was about the same like thickness. So yeah, I found one that was around the same size and I just painted it black. I mean, it's supposed to be like dark brown, and I did have a black paint that was like kind of off black, but then it ended up being, I think that paint was old, so it was like kind of hard to get out, and then it was also kind of just like dry and stuck in the bottle, so I was like, I guess I'll just use like true black paint and whatever, it's fine. And so, yeah, so you want to find a notebook that's a good enough size, that's probably around the same size as the one that's in the movie and whatever. And then you can either find one that's dark or black or whatever. And then, yeah, so you want to start off with the notebook. And then you gotta get some paint. So you can get some green paint. And then you can use a sponge for the green paint to make it look kind of like spray paint, or you could just get green spray paint. But I know some places, or like basically all places, have it where like you have to be a certain age to get spray paint. So in some places, it's like, you have to be 16 or older, or you have to be like 18 or older, or whatever, depending on the place. So, you know, it all kind of just depends. But if you are, too young to get spray paint, then you can maybe ask someone to get you spray paint, or you can just use green paint with a sponge if you can't get spray paint. So yeah, just get a sponge. You can get like paint sponge things from whatever craft store or something, and then you could do it that way. But yeah, I'm old enough to get spray paint, so I just used spray paint. So it was just easy to just go in and get spray paint. So yeah, and you might want to use a circular thing to do the spray paint because it's supposed to be in a circle shape, and then so you can use like, I don't know, a cup or a bowl or something, but I was kind of like, I don't know if I really want to use a cup or a bowl because like you're supposed to eat off of that, and I was like, I don't know if I want to use paint on a cup or a bowl, so I was like, I'm just gonna use a jar that no one's gonna eat out of because it's kind of, I don't know, weird to use paint on something that you're gonna eat out of. But I mean, you can always wash it, but still, I was like, I'm just gonna use something that isn't for food stuff. So I just grabbed a jar, used that. So you're gonna wanna get a circular thing that is the right size, and then you can do like spray paint or the sponge thing. And then you are going to want to get purple paint for the circle part, and then you can just use some like, you can use a paintbrush just to do the circle part. It's pretty easy. And then once you do that and you dry it, you can also, what I used for the dragon and for the corner things was I used Shrinky Dinks, and that's what I used for the dragon and stuff. And I think the dragon didn't completely flatten out because I think it's because the ones that I used were kind of old. Um, they're like on the packaging, like like even if there's no year on it, the packaging for the Shrinky Dinks that I used just looked old. It looked very outdated. And then when I looked on the package for a date, the Shrinky Dinks that I used for the little corner pieces, they were from like, I think those ones were from 1990. But then the one that I used for the dragon, I'm pretty sure is the 2002 one. Yeah, because like one of them was 1999, and then the other one was 2002, and it's like they're basically as old as I am. Like seriously, they're like 2 decades old. Like holy shit, like I would not be surprised if it ended up a little wonky because of how old they are. So, I don't know. Maybe I should have used some that were more newer. I don't know if age would really affect it that much, but I was kind of like, I should check just to see how old they are because the packaging looks old. And yeah, so um, they're like 20 plus years old. So, well, I mean, whatever, I guess it's fine. I don't know if it's because of how old they are or not, but the dragon ended up a little wonky looking from something. I don't know. But yeah, so the dragon, when you do the dragon with the Shrinky Dinks, you're gonna want to make it a little bit bigger than it's supposed to be because it's going to shrink a bit. So, you should follow the instructions on the packaging and try to make it the right size. You might want to make it like an inch bigger than you want it to be. And then the corner pieces, I just used like the dragon, I used a print it, where you can print a picture on it and then cut it out. But then the printer, I was like, I'm not gonna mess around with the printer too much because it's kind of hard to do that. So I just traced it out and cut it out. And then for the corner pieces, I just like used like clear plastic Shrinky Dinks and just I didn't shrink them at all in the oven. So yeah, and then the little corner things, the little stones, you can like find those somewhere at like a craft store or something. And yeah, that's kind of all you really need, I guess. It's just a notebook, some pink and, or not pink, some green and purple paint, some Shrinky Dinks, and some little gem thingies. And then you can put everything together. And yeah, again, I'm not really an artist, so everything ended up looking kind of weird. But yeah, anyways, I hope you guys can make one that looks a little bit better than mine. Oh, also, you're gonna need like some sort of glue to glue the dragon on and the corner things. I used hot glue gun, but also with the Shrinky Dinks, because they are like heat reactive and they'll shrink in the heat, you're gonna have to be kind of careful with that. Um, when I showed it in the video, it was sitting on the surface that I was doing everything on, so it didn't end up shrinking. But then when I tried to do a couple other ones, I was holding it up in the air, and then it ended up shrinking. So, if you're going to use a hot glue gun, make sure it's sitting flat on the surface of what you're doing it on, because that seemed to make it so they didn't shrivel up for me. I don't know why it mattered between being held up in the air and being flat on the surface, but okay, I guess it did make a difference though, because I messed up a couple of them because I held them up, and then the other two were fine because I laid them flat on the surface, and then I had to go remake a couple more just to redo the other two. So, make sure you lay them flat. If you don't want to use a hot glue gun because you're scared of it shrinking and stuff, then you can use some other glue. I think it's, what is it called? E6000 or something? Yeah, it's a glue. But with that glue, it's the adhesive stuff. So it, if you touch it, it can kind of feel like it's burning you. So you have to be careful with that. You might want to wear some protective gloves and stuff if you're going to be using that. But also hot glue gun can also burn if you touch it. That's kind of what I did when I was doing the corner things. I kind of burned myself a few times trying to put the corner things on. So, you know, if you're using E6000 or hot glue gun, like you can kind of burn yourself a bit, so be careful with those. Also, if you're doing the Shrinky Dinks, then you're probably going to want someone to help you if you're younger, just so you don't end up breaking something or something. I don't know. But you should have adult supervision if you're gonna be using this kind of stuff. So yeah, but if you're an older person, then you probably don't really need any supervision. So, yeah. Also, I forgot to mention that you need gold paint for the dragon and the corner pieces, but you can see that in the video that you need gold paint, and also I can put a thing in the description of all the things that you need, maybe even a pinned comment of all the things that you need, so, you can whatever with all that too. And yeah, I guess that's it for this video. And also, I want to ask, what is your favorite Descendants movie? Who's your favorite Descendants character? Are you excited for The Rise of Red that is coming out soon? It's kind of, the fourth Descendants movie, but it's different characters. And yeah, are you excited for that? Or maybe you just want it to be the same few characters that we had before? I don't know. I've seen some people be like, they want it to be just the same few characters and stuff, but I don't know. What do you guys think about the new Rise of Red movie? And yeah, I guess that's it for this movie though, so, or that's it for this video. This isn't a movie. Descendants is a movie, but I guess that's it for this video. So, bye.